Hey everybody, welcome to Late Night Magic. I am FitzMagic, joined as always by my late night compañero, Piano Rob. What's up, my man?
Gene, can I tell you a secret? Whenever our intro's on, I always want to jam along to it, but I'm always afraid that I'm going to not be muted, and I'm just going to be like going to town on the back all over the intro.
I get all my bodily sounds out during the intro, so thank God we are muted. Burps.
You are muted. I've never heard anything, so I guess it's done
thank
right.
God. So my wife usually gets the last minute yelling and nagging in that time, and then she knows to shush after.
Do you do any vocal warm-ups, like, start screaming weird things?
Oh, definitely.
It doesn't show.
I make sure my New York accent isn't too thick. I try to brush it back a little bit, and
it's thicker than your beard, Gene. It's thicker than your beard.
Well, it is, and you know what? I mean, obviously, we all know I'm in New York for a little bit. I'm homesick. I'm, from Florida. Florida quickly became my home when I was down there, and I can't wait to get back. And go hang out with you and Allie and live that Florida life again. I miss it. So. But I'll be back soon enough, and it definitely is. But what's going to be even more fun is we have a great guest tonight. This was, we joked around. This is the interview in the making for like months, because this was actually supposed to be our last interview on another place. And then we've done a few other things, but now we're here, and I'm glad that it's for here now. So, yes. And if anybody's curious, our guest is Alisa Reyes from Proud Family, from all that, from a bunch of different things.
How often do we get Nickelodeon and Disney? Somebody that's done. I mean, that's our mecca, Gene. I'm very excited. That's awesome.
That is. So I can't wait to speak to her. Such a sweetheart of a person too. So I'm glad we finally got her in, and we can ask her a little bit about a lot of different things. Also the Reading Rainbow documentary, she was part of that as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Without further ado, let's get right to our commercial break and come back with Alisa Reyes.
Let's do it. Butterfly in the sky, I can touch my eyes high. Take a look, it's in our book.
Cute. Oh, Winnie the Cute. Rawr, Jurassic Cute. You're not trash, you're cute. This is Sammy. Sammy loves Disney ears. She loves ears so much, she makes her own. Yeah, 3D ears. Want to see her do it? Let's check it out. Here she's making bows. Here she also makes ears. And sometimes she makes ears with bows. Any kind you want. People have been seeing her with her ears and they're saying, hey, can I get me some ears? Pow, yeah you can. Here you go. Now Sammy's making ears for any occasions. Ears for dogs. Ears for spooky stuff. You name it. Ears for any occasion. And it's all happening at JSA Creations. JSA Creations. Just ask for Sammy.
I gotta tell you, my wife's cooking right now. I can smell the food, and it smells really good. It's making me hungry.
I can smell it too, Gene, from here.
She's making a little bit of pasta, and listen, she's Colombian, but she makes really good Italian food. So God bless her. Although I wouldn't mind some sancocho right about now, or some arroz con pollo. But
you know what? I don't know what that is, but we don't have time to talk about this. We don't have time right now.
I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten all day.
I can tell you seem famished over there.
I'm angry a little bit, but I could smell the sauce waft, the aroma, not odor. I guess odor's bad, right? The aroma wafting up the steps. But guys, please put your hands together for our guest, Alisa Reyes. Hello. How you doing?
Yeah.
First off, I have to say I have a lot in common with both of you. I am Irish, Italian, Dominicana from Manhattan, Nueva York, but I lived in Florida when I was doing all that on Nickelodeon. And one of my most favorite places ever is Key West. So, I mean, between your wife cooking, and I'm half Italian, I feel like we are one. We are the United Nations.
We
over here.
are.
Yes. We're going to solve all the world's problems on this episode.
Episode at this
Hopefully
moment.
they're watching. You know what? Rob is originally Staten Island. I am from Long Island. I moved down to Florida about a year ago, but I'm back up in New York for a couple of months.
Okay.
And Rob has been in Florida for what,
17
years.
17 years now.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
So-
Florida is fabulous. I mean,
Love it.
I've
Love it.
experienced, Orlando, Miami, Clearwater, Sarasota.
Yeah, she
Tampa.
knows.
There you go. There's the New York accent.
That's-
And now you're out.
Yeah,
and
it's Gene's fault that my accent's coming.
He does it to all of us. It's
I can't help
terrible.
it. You know, the funny story is I actually, and I got to tell you an even funnier story. So please, you know what we were saying before, you can stick around after we're done. Stick around. Actually, give me 2 minutes because I got to tell you a funny story off the air.
Okay.
She's too
But-
busy. No, you don't have
Just
to
2
do
minutes.
that.
2 minutes.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
But yeah, you know, when I first started out, I was trying to get rid of my accent because I didn't. And I was like, maybe I should go
Oh.
non-regional. And everyone said, just no.
How did that
you.
sound? If you don't mind, can I hear it?
It sounded like I can't even do it because it would be. I can't even.
I'm gonna quote too
tried.
old of a movie, but I'm picturing
Okay.
Mickey Blue Eyes when Hugh Grant tried to do the Italian accent.
When he's
He's
trying-
British.
When he's trying to say he wanted it right, he's like, rah.
Yeah. And you know what? Not to be sad, but I think James Caan was in that movie too. I think
Yes,
he's
he
the
was.
dad. But
I'm
that's
so
so.
sad he died. Him
I
and
am,
Ray
but you know what?
Liotta.
I know.
know.
All my Italians. All my Italians.
Tony Sirico.
Forget it. They're
It's
having
like,
a party up there.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
right?
saying.
That's a meal right now. That's happening up there.
God
That's
added a
the
few
meal.
henchmen over the last few weeks. Tony
Right? He's
Sirico
like,
as
I need
well.
to change it up in my kitchen.
He got some hitmen.
Yeah,
They're chopping the onion nice and thin with the
they
garlic.
are nice and
So,
thin. That's right.
But all right, so let's get into you now.
Okay.
You've been in the limelight for a long time. You started off as a model as a child.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, like I think about 7 or 8, something like that, right?
I started acting when I was a little girl, and I wanted to start earlier. I tried to put my head in the TV, and my mom's like, "That's not how you're going to get to Sesame Street." So, a couple of black and white 4x6s with crimped hair, and I'm wearing my quinceañera dress. I send it out to some agents, crossing my fingers and making the sign of the cross. Somebody acknowledges me, and I got picked up by one of my first agents that I went in and met and did a cold reading, and first audition by the grace of God. I booked, and it was a Honey Nut Cheerios commercial, and I joined SAG, in like 1990. But
Is that a real year?
That's a real year. But to be honest with you, I started off as a kid, and for me, I was like a sponge. I loved being, the center of attention and performing for my family. So my mother was a support system that allowed me to pursue my dreams and put me in dancing and singing in classes. And, I paid my dues as a young child, and being a child paying my dues, it didn't seem like work,
Yeah.
And, when I was 12 years old is when I got the call to audition for all of that. And that was my first series regular role. And then the rest was history. It just opened up Pandora's box for me. And it's, been an abundant blessing ever since.
Now, when you got that gig, because that was the breakout, right? So what was that like, especially then working with the cast that you guys had? You guys were all roughly the same age,
Yeah.
young together. And I believe they filmed that in Orlando's Universal Studios, correct?
At Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah. So like, what was
Yeah.
that like to basically be your place of work was a theme park? Like, what was that?
I know my
I
backyard.
gotta imagine
during my-
at 12, 13 years old, that's gotta be amazing.
It was amazing. During my lunch breaks, I would ride the Terminator ride. I mean,
Yes.
and we were part of the Nickelodeon iconic nostalgic tour that would go through the studio so they could see us and Double Dare and Figure It Out and whatever show was shooting there at the time. And it's funny because all of my co-stars and I, sometimes we're like, we were just sitting there and they would show up and we're like waving, Never did I feel like a zoo animal. I actually felt, an immense amount of excitement, and for me, it was just any way you can interact with people and the fans, it just made the experience, all worth the while. But yes, Orlando was my stomping ground. We shot the first couple seasons there, and Pilot even shot the theme opening of the show in Universal, jumping on the trampoline. And I'll never forget that either. Just that moment jumping on the trampoline and people watching us going, what are these people doing? I'm like, I'm having fun.
I don't always share this with everybody, but Universal is my the Universal Studios Park in Orlando is my favorite place on earth. That is my
For
place.
now, I signed the petition like 80 million times. Is
So-
it
so-
non-existent or what's the deal?
Well, Nickelodeon Studios was Blue Man Group for a while. They had a
Right,
Blue
I
Man,
remember that.
and now it's empty. They stopped that show, and that actual building right now is nothing right now.
I think is that where they hold the wrestling events now?
They used to, yes, they
okay.
used it occasionally for wrestling. It became too expensive to film in Orlando, and that's why they did all that Mickey Mouse Club in the '90s, all that stuff. That was the time to film here, and now it's just too expensive. That's simply the reason. They've moved the productions to other places that are cheaper. But that park, it's still one of my favorite places. I've grown with that park. I continue to grow with that park. Like they do the Halloween Horror Nights and the more adult events.
So they use that vicinity for stuff, but there's no ongoing thing there right
There's
now.
no ongoing shows recorded anywhere really in Orlando right now.
I feel like it would trip me out if I walked back. Well, I don't even know if the studio that I shot all that is still actually there. But if I got a chance to ever just like walk back in that frequency, I think I would cry because it was my home for such a long time.
I'm pretty sure it's all different because they've used that for haunted houses and horror nights and stuff like that. So I have a feeling none of it would be there, but I don't know that at all for a fact. If anybody,
I buried like $1 million in my dressing room, and I need to go get it.
I can use that now.
I'll be right back.
I need to go buy some stuff.
So you've also done a lot of voiceover work too. What do you like better? Do you like the voiceover work better than even sometimes just being on camera?
Compare. I mean, it's apples and oranges. Because to be honest with you, doing a voiceover, people think, oh, you get to show up in your pajamas and your slippers, and it's easy. No, it's your voice. Your voice is your instrument. You have to give 100 million more 10%. And even though sure, I can bang out a couple episodes in a couple hours, and it's not like being on a set for the whole day. When I leave my sessions, I'm exhausted. I have to make sure that I vocalize before, that I, don't drink too much dairy, that I have a cup of tea, that I, I respect my tool and my instrument. It's the same as a singer. A singer has to take care of their vocal cords. There's times I have to scream. There's times I have to do things over and over again. There's times where sometimes I'll show up and they'll be like, we want you to play a couple of other roles, because I play multiple different characters. So like in our latest season of The Proud Family on Disney Plus, I'm not only La Cienega, I might play another actor's voice, So I've done a couple of voices, a little boy's voice, an older woman's voice, So I never know what's going to happen when I get in there. So I'm just always overly prepared, just because you never know.
Yeah. You know what? We don't talk about this on the show yet, and we've actually had a lot of voice actors, but I know vocal health is a crazy thing. Like I know if I have to sing, there's no pasta sauce that day. There's no other thing. You can't, nothing with acid reflux, nothing. So yeah, when you see your favorite singers or any of your favorite voice actors, you'll hear any of the Pixar actors talk about it when they've gone into the studio. You're acting kind of just as much, but it's all coming from here. So you still got to imagine all that in one place. So
that's why you have to respect, you respect the temple that God gave you. A lot of people don't realize, sure, the mirage, the illusion seems fabulous, but there is a lot of sacrifice that anyone that is a working actor or that's in the public eye or that is very well known or that's a celebrity, there's a lot of sacrifice. And what does that mean? Eating right. I call it a perfect Merkaba, mind, body, and spirit in balance, and that's what we all thrive as human beings, is to have that perfect balance. But, I say, if you can pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time, you're good to go, and now that I'm a new mom, I got my daughter on my hip and, I'm hopping on one leg and doing a backflip at the same time.
I think it's easier for moms.
You know what's beautiful?
Dads can't. We're not that.
You guys can. Not as well. You can.
But what's great about it is, like you said, Gene, we've had a lot of people where now too, you don't have to do just one thing. Like you can be a mom, pack the kids up and still make it happen. And that's another, I just love that about entertainment today. It was kind of hard to do both. It's still hard to do both, but you can do both. The world is more accommodating for you to do both now.
And even if it wasn't accommodating, I still would do both. Because,
of course.
Ain't nobody gonna tell mama what to do.
I'll tell you what, and right now your daughter, she's still young, so you haven't even had the real joys of parenthood yet. And that real joys are where you get to boss them around to do chores around the house so you don't have to do them anymore. That's the real
I'm already
joy.
teaching her. I'm like,
There
this
you
is
go.
how you open this. This is how you push the Swiffer.
Well,
This is how you open the blinds and make the bed and fold the clothes. It's cute. She's 11 months, but she's sassy.
Hey,
yeah. I got a good tip for you. I'm gonna as a new mom. Here's a good tip.
Please share, Gene. Please.
I'm gonna share. Rob, I'm sure you've done this before, maybe, and if you haven't, by all means, please use this as well. All right, you've had those days. You had a long day. You're sitting on the couch, right? You want to watch TV, and then you realize, oh, I really need to get the dog's outside in the backyard. The dog's barking.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to get up to get the dog. It's all the way in the kitchen. I got the back door. So you call your kids down and you ask them a rhetorical question. Hey, Angelique, come downstairs for a second. Hey, how did you do on that test today? Oh, wait, hold on a second. Do you hear the dog? Can you just let the dog in? I think the dog's barking. Telling you right now, works like a charm. I still do it to this day. My daughter's 22.
That's better than I thought. That's better than I thought it was going to be.
He did a good story. That was a cute one.
You never have to get up again. Once they're moving around, you don't have to get up ever again. Let me tell you.
Whenever he has good advice,
she took her first steps the other day.
Congratulations.
I was just elated that my husband and I were together for that sacred moment because I remember going, if she doesn't and I'm not here, I'll be livid, right?
Yeah.
So we were like in the backyard on Mother Earth's grass. And that's what I'm more stoked about. My little hippie, she walked on the grass, and that just made my heart so happy. It was just a beautiful moment. And for 11 months, she's doing good. She says, "Mama, Dada." She likes to say, "Bird." Bird is her new word. Yeah.
Nice.
Very
so,
now, is there any chance that you're gonna maybe put her? Maybe she's gonna do a little acting. You were a child actor, or do you?
Yeah, I mean,
you seem to love it.
Wants to do. I mean, honestly, I can probably help support that very easily. Of course, my husband goes, she is gonna just be whatever she is, just great at it. Because she's immensely independent. I'm an only child. My mother, God rest her soul, was an only child. She's an only child, and I don't know what it is. Our family has this little frequency of just whatever they put their mind to, they do it. So I don't care what she does, as long as she's healthy and happy and smiling, because her smile is infectious that I could give two cares in the world. But yes, whatever she wants to do, like, I'm not one of those actors like my kid can't act. No, of course she can act. It's so funny. My husband and I are fans of Svengoolie. Do you know who Svengoolie is?
That sounds familiar, but I'm not ringing. It's not.
Oh, am I educating you?
Yeah, but that's what the show's for.
He's been very well known since the 80s and 90s. He has the show that's themed kind of like Halloween-esque, to where he plays classic movies from, I mean, literally like maybe the 1950s and 60s and 70s and 80s to present. And then he'll in between interject little banter and commentary about who these people are, and did that face look familiar? That was an actor from such and such. So my husband and I, we entered our daughter in their monthly contest, and she won as their kid baby, and she popped up in their newsletter and on the TV. And I just thought that was hilarious. I said, look, you're not even you're just a couple months old and you're already a superstar.
She beat you. She's
that's what I said to my husband.
And so it begins.
I said, what the heck? Yeah.
That's great.
So all that was obviously a huge part of your childhood. For a lot of other actors and actresses, are you still in touch with anybody from all that?
Of course, yeah. I mean, just the other night, I was talking to one of my co-stars. I mean, I still keep in touch with Kenan Thompson, Josh Server, Lori Beth, Kel, every now and then I'll bump into the girls. Even some other actors from other seasons. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of this tribe that they're never going to go away. They're like, they left an imprint in your heart, And so we can always pick up a conversation from where we left off. And if I don't see them for a day or years, they know I have love for them. We follow each other on social media. We support each other with whatever we're doing. And, the last time I saw some of them was I think at the Good Burger pop-up, or if I was shooting, the latest new episodes of the reboot that happened a little before the pandemic started. And, being back on the All That stage and playing, Kiki the Island Girl with Lori Beth Denberg, and it's
Yeah.
25 years later,
Yeah.
it was like we never skipped a beat. And then working with the new cast and passing down the torch, like they're just all little superstars, and
They
they're
were
now
good, the new
doing amazing.
kids.
Yeah, they're doing good
Yeah.
things now. I'm so proud of them.
I love that it's kind of become this new thing where they'll take an old show, they'll reboot
Okay.
it, and then you can watch it with your kids. They've made it for that the adults can
Yes.
enjoy it. And I mean, come on, that's magical. That's why places like Disney World existed. It's a place to go have fun with your kids, not the kids
With your
you watch,
family.
not
Yeah.
watch them have fun. So I love that they're rebooting all these things for no other reason, just that we can all
Though,
grow
just
with
an
it.
FYI, Proud Family's not a reboot, it's a revival, which
revi-
means we pick up from where we left off, but yet continue on. The reboot, it's kind of a brand new something, if that
Yes.
makes any sense.
Well,
I know
thought
there's
reboot-
all the words. There's
I
yeah,
thought
there's
reboot
so many.
was where you pick up not where you left off, but that many years later, right? Isn't that what a reboot
Right.
is?
Exactly.
And then a remake is a remake. Revival is where it's from the minute you left off, and then a reboot is if there's 25-year gap, it's 25 years later. Now, like you guys would have been adults in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Look at this. Look.
That's why I'm now the teacher, or instead of the mom, the young aunt.
Yes, the young aunt that they confuse as
Or
probably
the
a
older,
niece or something.
the older sister.
Yeah. So let's talk about the original. You basically getting into Proud Family, back in the day. Was that your first voiceover work at that point?
That was my first animated. I had done commercial voiceovers,
Okay.
where I was like doing campaign ads and stuff like that. But yes, that was my first animated voiceover job. And I mean, I remember when I got the script, and I remember when I went in for the audition, I knew some of the actors I was auditioning up against, or other actors that were there for other parts. And I was going to myself, wow, these are really well-established actors. Because a lot of people don't realize voiceover actors are also on-camera actors.
Mhm.
Some aren't, and some are.
Yeah.
But I do remember vaguely, my agent at the time was like, the Proud Family, when it was just on the Disney Channel, they're looking for actors that are also on-camera actors, because they're looking for a specific kind of je ne sais quoi, or frequency. So I remember I did get requested to come in. I think I was like freshly off of my show One World that aired on NBC. It was
Okay.
a Peter Ingalls show, which you can see now on Tubi, all seasons.
Very
Okay.
nice.
So that's kinda
Tubi's
fun
great,
to
by the
see.
way, if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Tubi has so
Tubi
much
is
free
awesome.
content. Yeah.
You could see everything.
Yeah.
And so when I went in for that audition, I just remember having fun, sharing my input about what I felt La Cieneka's frequency would be. They were very open to it, reciprocative, and kind of allowed me to make her my own. I didn't want to put her in a box just because she's Latina. I didn't want her to have a stereotypical anything. I felt that she should be Americanized. There are a lot of people that are mixed ethnicity that are
Yes.
very Americanized.
Going to be the whole
Just because-
future.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we're going. We're all going to be one.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Exactly. Yes. So at the end of the day, I got the call that I got it, and I was stoked. And I knew when I was doing the show, there was something magical, very similar to all that. I knew that was going to be a magical frequency. And I knew both shows were going to come back. It was just a matter of when. And I knew no matter when it came back, the alignment was magical. It's God's
Yeah.
master plan. So, now that the Proud Family is back and doing great with, some new cast members, and, making our show be a little bit more modern, where we're talking about activism, LGBTQ community. La Cienega has a quinceañera. We have a plethora of just amazing guest stars. I'm in a new theme song that's considered a reimagined theme song. And now, because when I was on the Proud Family previously, social media in real life wasn't popping like it is
Mhm.
now. So,
Nope.
like you said, the fan bases, the parents, and now the kids, it's just like explosion of just awesomeness, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
My daughter grew up on the original Proud Family.
Okay.
So like my daughter's 22 now, so she grew up watching it as a kid, watching Disney Channel, and now
Yeah.
she, and she can even enjoy the new stuff because it's like such a blast from the past for her. Because obviously, as we all know, as parents, you end up watching what your kids watch at times, and so I watched a lot of that
Yes.
stuff with her as a child. So like, I remember the movie where it was like the Peanut Island. What was the movie again that you guys had?
Yes. There was like little
Like peanut looking guys, right?
Yeah, like islanders that were little peanuts. Yes, that worked in the
So
factory.
I remember that movie. So we used to always, she like watched that on like loop, like when she was little.
Oh,
So
cute.
yeah, so I'm probably embarrassing her now, but yeah, so
No.
she loves it. In fact, Patty, show us I want to show the difference between the animation from then to now.
Oh, the
We
key
actually have
art. The key art. Oh yeah.
yeah, like you
Wow. Oh
can
my
see it's so different. It's so
gosh.
clear now too. I mean, obviously, technology, right? So,
Wow.
but that's the difference, right?
Wow.
Well, they made
I
a good joke about it with the new Rescue Rangers. Like they had I don't know if you guys have seen that
I
yet.
started to watch that and I was like, this is I was playing it for my daughter, but I go, I think I can laugh at this a lot.
You can. There's so many jokes for all of us
For
in our
adults.
generation,
Yeah.
and they made the animation joke too. Like they went through a machine where it's a new style
Yeah.
animation, and it's
Yeah.
great. It's fun, and it shows the progression. Like we said, it's not just for kids, just for parents. You're tying it in that we can all enjoy it, and which is great.
Exactly. And I love the new key art. I think it's beautifully done. It's vibrant. I like the new look of La Cienega. She has a little bit of a shape and a new hairdo. And she
Yeah, it's
got
a
some
little.
ombre color.
God, we all did
Yeah.
after the pandemic. We all got new
Mhm,
pandemic dues.
mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
Cute.
So we'll talk back on the Proud Family in a minute on the revival. I almost said reboot revival.
Okay.
But let's talk a little bit. I know you just recently had Break Even. We see the movie poster behind you.
Yes.
That's pretty recent. And then also let's also talk about some Butterfly in the Sky documentary
Yeah.
that you were part of.
Yeah, I'm in a documentary called Butterfly in the Sky. It just premiered at Tribeca Film Festival in New York City this past June. And what's amazing about that documentary is it's all based off of Reading Rainbow and LeVar Burton, who is just the main frequency of that, is just the nicest man. And the whole tribe of people that created this documentary, honestly, are the nicest guys. And they did such a beautiful piece of artwork. I was a part of Reading Rainbow as a child. I was one of the kids that reviewed a book, and then I would sit and talk about it. And my New York accent, Gene, may super past yours, because the book. Spreading the news.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
I did musical theater. I'm not sure if that was the song, but that's what it sounded like.
It is. No, you were right on it. That means I'm playing it right if you recognize it. So
You are. You did good. I'm a B flat. Hit it. No, but honestly, it honestly was just love it. The documentary is something that once it's available for the masses, you have to see it. The book that I reviewed as a kid was called I Want a Dog. So literally, like, that's how I say it. I'm like, I want a dog. That's what the book is called. But it's beautifully
sounds
done.
like that sounds the right way to me. That sounds right.
You're taking me back to my high school girlfriends. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that's the sound.
Coffee Talk, Linda Richmond. Remember from SNL?
Yeah,
of course.
I used to get made fun of for saying sauce. That's the way I say sauce. And straw.
My husband the other day was laughing at me because I say, can you grab this spatula? He goes, what's a spatula? No, it's I go, spatula. I go, can you grab the spatula? He goes, it's spatula. And I go, no, it's spatula.
Yeah, we add ERs where there's A's, and we make ERs A's just to mess with it.
And then I say confidently, like I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're wrong.
Well, I mean,
you ever hear?
You're not. Yeah, I mean, nobody's wrong. It's whatever it is. There's no right and wrong anymore.
So back to the documentary. And one thing too is I feel like 6 degrees of separation with LeVar Burton. I feel like we've interviewed a bunch of people that know LeVar Burton. I feel like I've heard a million times how great of a man he is.
And he looks amazing.
Yeah, and he's been. But
whatever his skin routine is, hashtag can I get it?
Yeah, right.
But it's so nice to hear how nice of it, because we must have spoken to about 5 people that have his name has come up, and every time I hear it, one of the first things that people say is what a nice guy, or just a really good guy, and he must be, because that's all you ever hear.
And let's talk about that. Like Reading Rainbow was on at a time where there was only a couple of TV channels still. We all watched it. Like, there's a reason we all watched Sesame Street. Yeah. Like there was only a couple of shows. So if you were a kid, you watched one of these 3 shows. Like that was it. So we all have such a connection. So it's nice. And it's nice when those people still hold up in times later, because we know what happens with certain other celebrities. Then there's a scandal. So he's a sweet man then. He's a sweet man now. And he did so much good in that. I mean, come on, reading is still important. It's great.
It's
great.
Huge, because everyone, I mean, my daughter, I was doing a podcast recently and we were talking about how my daughter's 11 months, but she knows what a phone is and she knows how to do the movement of a swipe. And I'm like, no.
They know that. Yeah, they learn that quick, man. The social
but unfortunately,
media.
you have to teach them kind of so that they are on the up and up, because you don't want to have the frequency be delayed, God forbid. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. Your kid will.
I like that you use that word a lot, by the way. That is your word, I think. Frequency. I like that. I like that you use that.
Frequency is my word. Yeah, energy, frequency.
I take that as like, if whatever you're doing a project, you're doing the Proud Family, it vibrates at whatever frequency, and you want to get everybody within that same frequency. If somebody's not with it, then they're not right on this project, and that goes for anything in life. That's how I'm taking it.
You got it, man.
All right, good. I like that. That's a nice. I'm going to use that in the future. That's.
This is what I say, because when I'm not on set, I teach acting and do workshops and seminars to all ages. So what I tell my students and clients is, if you see somebody do or hear something, then steal it, take it, only if it's for the good, you know? Yes. And then, you know, if you resonate that, we are a reflection of each other, right? So whatever you put out comes back to you.
Yeah.
It's the law of attraction.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah. And I was actually going to touch on that. I know you do a little acting coaching. What brought you to that? Like, what made you? Because it's kind of like, in a way, it's like giving back, right, to the next generation of young actors. What made you want to get into that? Is that what it was? Was more about just giving back?
I think when I was little, I always wanted to be a teacher of some sort, you know. And for me, it's like, I'm sure any human being, if you're passionate, can relate to this. If you're passionate about something, then explaining what that something is to another human being shouldn't be hard and shouldn't feel like work, right?
Yeah, you're usually excited about it. You're excited to share. Yes.
So I love to share all of this, you know, magical stuff that I experienced. You know, I started acting classes as a kid and had a private coach at a young age. And I think anyone that wants to perfect their craft, it doesn't matter what you do. Like sometimes in my seminars and workshops or sessions, I talk about marketing and branding, or auditioning, or character development, or social media. There's a lot of things in the spectrum of what I like to call the 3D matrix that I like to cover. Because nowadays, with everything happening remotely from home and social media and not having to do everything in person like we had to, like auditions for actors are also a lot of self-submitting from home. You know, it's amazing what you can do if you just learn basic technology and package yourself correctly, right? So you know, I try to touch a little bit about everything, because I like to call myself a boss lady. I run my own ship. You know, I have a website, I have a monthly newsletter. There's a lot of different ways that people can interact with me. And I think if you want to put yourself out there, no matter what the topic or genre is, you know, the sky's the limit. You just have to put forth that energy, because it's not going to come to you if you're just sitting on your couch.
Yeah, you got to put the work, but that's exactly it. We live in a time you can do whatever you want, and that's what I love about it.
There's really no excuse.
There is none. And if quitting is, and you know, if you quit, that's the only way you're going to not get somewhere. That's the only way.
Right. Exactly.
And I'll tell you what I love about that too is you don't just teach. You're saying you don't just teach acting. You're helping out with. You're explaining the system, really.
The system, the dynamics.
You know?
Yes. I mean, if you want to talk just about how to upload something for casting, if you want to learn how to create a package for yourself for, you know, getting an agent or a manager, or, you know, if there's just something you want to talk about within some script development or analysis that you want to talk about when it comes to anything that you're working on. It doesn't matter what the category is. I have kind of an academic program per topic if needed be.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, sometimes I have, you know, seminars and sessions where people ask me questions about my personal experience of 30 plus years in this business. And, you know, I give them my chutzpah, my 2 cents.
Yeah.
But you have a longevity that is well respected. So you're not speaking just out the side of your mouth. You actually are coming with real facts, stuff that you've actually dealt with, real life, history. So
yes.
So I think that's always, when you're learning from someone that's already been through the struggles, the I don't know if trauma is the right word, but that learned how to grow within the business.
Right.
It makes it a lot easier.
I'm keeping it real. I'm not just
you've done it. You've been there. You've done it.
I'm not just talking and I'm not sugarcoating, and I'm being authentically honest. 100%. Yes.
And people need a place to go to. So it's and by the way, we're going to put all those links. So if anybody wants to sign up for a seminar or anything as well.
Yeah, you can go to alisareyes.com, and there's a whole sign up, for my monthly newsletter, or sign up and email for more information about, my services and what I have going on when I'm not on set. Definitely hit me up.
Awesome.
Definitely. All right, so let's talk about now. We touched on it a little bit.
Okay.
What was the process really about getting the band back together with Proud Family? You guys, was it something, like you said, you kind of knew that it would come back at one point? When they finally approached you, were you like, I'm all in? Was there what was it like for you?
I
knowing
feel like end of, what was it, like the summer or fall of 2019, I had gotten together with the creator Bruce Smith and Ralph Farquhar, the producer of the show, and I knew vaguely something was happening. I just didn't know exactly when that was going to happen. And then, like, literally in February of 2020, freshly when the pandemic started.
I was going to say, so this is like, right there. Okay.
I found out that we got picked up. And so we started maybe like a month or two later, and they trusted us to try to record at home. So that was entertaining. They sent us a whole kit, and we're like, oh, at the time I was living in an apartment. Now, thanks be to God, I'm in my first house. I'm very excited because I'm a New Yorker. So I lived in an apartment for a very long time.
We understand.
I hopped around in apartments. I was waiting to finally, find the right home. And then my joke is, a week later, I found out I'm pregnant. So my guest room that was supposed to be my boudoir is my daughter's room.
Yes. Okay.
But I do have an office. I told my husband, you have the garage.
Yeah.
Office.
There you go.
I love it. Office.
And so we did try recording, in certain aspects of where we lived. I ended up having to try to record in a manager's office that I had at the time. And a couple months later, they're like, the pandemic's we're getting a little more settled. We're going to have you come in studio now. But, I'm a part of Screen Actors Guild, which is the union for actors. So, the protocol for COVID, you still have to get tested. You still have to get your temperature checked, the whole kit and caboodle. So, that's the one great thing about, being a part of Screen Actors Guild and being a part of Disney. They take such great care of all of us. And, everything that we do is immensely safe. And I went into the studio, and, it was like we never skipped a beat. And it did take about a year for the show to get acclimated and to come out, because people don't realize, animation just doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for things to get going. But I said, I knew when it came out, no matter when it came out, it was going to be the right time. And I know the fans are just stoked about it, and because TV's not the way it used to be. So when you see something that kind of brings you that nostalgic trip down memory lane, but just now, whatever, what do you call it, 2.0 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes you kind of just go, I remember that frequency.
It makes you feel good.
Piano.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, guys, go out and watch it. If you have little ones, it's fantastic for them. And again, you touched on it a little bit before. I love how you guys on the show you've kind of updated, or you've gotten with, you're touching on, I think, social issues.
With the times.
And you're touching on social issues that are, I think, are important to address, and you're not being blind.
Very much so.
And it's still fun. It's still
exactly.
Show.
It's light.
Still fun. It's lighthearted.
You know what I mean? Listen, at the end of the day, we want everyone to be able to put their cell phones away, get some popcorn, sit with the masses in your family, and just have a good chuckle. You could sit with your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, your dog. It doesn't matter. And it's a show. What do we say? We say it's like for 6 to 60 or 8 to 80. That's the age range.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know what? I got a 3-part question.
Okay.
an actor, an actress, and a director.
Mhm.
Which one have you not worked with? Out of all, give us 3 answers for all 3 categories. Which one of each that you have not worked with, but is like your dream to work with it one day?
Oh, an actor. I would love to work with someone like a Meryl Streep or like I mean, I would love to work with someone like a Tom Hanks or a Diane Keaton or you know Robert De Niro. You know, the list goes on and on.
You're right in our age range. You have the same. You look up to the same exact ones that we do. That's great.
And then who else? A director. Well, of course. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Spielberg, right? He did so many iconic things. Clint Eastwood. You know what I mean? Go below. But now there's some great women directors. I mean, the list goes on and on with directors. And then you asked about someone else.
Well, actor, actress, and director.
Yeah, no, you covered it with fantastic answers.
Yes.
Great. All right.
Okay,
well,
good.
that's. I think we got it. All right. So, Alisa, we're gonna do lightning lane.
Okay.
We're gonna ask you 10 rapid fire questions. First thing that comes off the top of your head. Are you ready for lightning lane?
Born ready.
All right, Patty, roll the clip. I hope your seatbelt was buckled, Alisa. I was saying, why you have me on the main screen?
Of course it was.
So, all right, you ready?
Okay.
First question. What do you do when you can't fall asleep at night?
I meditate.
Oh, nice. Favorite vegetable?
Zucchini.
Oh, nice one.
Okay. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I've owned 2 cats, haven't had a dog, but I will now that I have a daughter eventually.
Yeah. Okay. And a house and a daughter. Dog comes next. That's
exactly. But not when she's 11 months. I need a little bit of a break.
Well, now that she can walk, we got to get to the point that she can walk the dog, and then
She took about 4 steps, so it might be a second.
And again, remember, when you're sitting on the couch and that dog's barking to come in, you need her to be old enough to be able to go out and bring him in. That's key.
She's gonna do stuff.
Yeah.
What all-time favorite movie?
Breakfast Club.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. What was your last Halloween costume?
I was a sexy kitten.
Favorite food meal, the one thing.
Crab all day, every day.
Now, like crab cakes?
Yeah.
Like what way?
Just crab with butter.
Crab
legs.
legs.
Out of my daughter. Crab legs, lobster, shrimp.
I love the New York accent. Just keeps coming out.
Yeah,
love it.
All the shellfish. I like it.
You know, all the good Italian food.
All right.
Yeah.
What is one interest or hobby that people would be surprised to know that you have? Hot yoga. Did people be surprised because I'm misshapen and I don't eat right? But I used to do hot yoga back when I was a vegan, and let me tell you something. I would leave the hot yoga studio and it would be like I jumped in a pool. That's how.
Yeah, I like to clearly torture myself. It's a 90-minute class, 26 amazing positions, life-changing. Hence the reason I think I'm kind of like, where I am physically, because I started that practice almost like 4 years ago, and it's been something that I like to go back to when I'm able to.
I loved hot yoga. I didn't do regular yoga. Hot yoga I used to do.
I wonder if LeVar Burton does hot yoga, if that's one of his
Probably. He probably teaches a class.
Right. All right, I love this question. Who's your favorite Disney villain?
I mean, Maleficent is good. She's a good one, right?
She's always a good one. That's evil of the evil.
She's the evil of the evil. And then what is it? I like the witch in Sleeping Beauty. I just forgot her name.
No, that's Maleficent.
That's Maleficent.
Oh, that's Maleficent. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Then
You're in. You're in. Perfect.
What's your biggest fear?
I don't have a fear.
That's an answer.
That's gangster right there. I like that.
I'm fearless.
There
Next
you go.
question.
Best answer ever.
Biggest pet peeve.
Pet peeve. To all the men, keep the toilet seats
Fair enough.
Did my wife talk to you? Because my wife yells at me all the time about that. Did she talk to you? Like, is she over there?
Or just like, this is like, now that I'm like a new mom, and I always have been little A-type personality. Like, I have a list for a list, but I'm like, there's a place for everything and everything in its place. Like, kind of like that's my energy right now. But which can be exhausting, and sometimes you just have to surrender. And if it's not in its place, it's okay.
Yeah,
you need to talk to my wife, because that's another thing she says. I'm spread
no,
out
but that's
around
hard
the
to get
house
used
too
to. The more successful you get, the busier you get with life. It's impossible to keep up with everything, and it's not that you want to let things
structure
go.
and organization.
Yes.
I have a friend that likes to label maker everything. I haven't gotten that far yet, though. A label maker is on my to-do list.
Yeah,
it's in your Amazon cart already.
Yes, it is.
All right. So one bonus question: best piece of advice you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
My mother, God rest her soul. Just the golden rule: you treat others as you wish to be treated. And to love is the key. And cleanliness is next to godliness, and patience is a virtue.
They all hold up. Every one of those will hold up forever.
And
And
ever.
put the seat down.
And put the seat down. So what else we got coming up before we let you go? What do you got coming up?
Well, just shout out to Celebrity Family Feud. We were just on recently. That was so much fun, hanging out with Mr. Steve Harvey. It was the Disney Plus cast, myself, Kiki Palmer, Soleil, Paula, and Kyla up against Salt Pepper, Kid and Play, and Dougie Fresh.
Yes.
And
So
then,
fun.
we just got done doing Comic-Con in San Diego, the international convention, speaking on a panel and doing a press junket and getting a chance to interact with journalists and fans, and
Awesome.
talking about our journey and adventure. And I got my doc Butterfly in the Sky out that I'm in, and you could see me on Break Even. I'm also in another doc that I produced called The Orange Years, that's streaming and out on Hulu. And for more information on me, you can basically check out AlisaReyes.com. I'm getting ready to film a movie this summer, and just staying on the grind and staying in gratitude and enjoy being a wife and a mom. And I'm thankful that I'm, a working actress doing what I love and spreading that love and light to the rest of the world.
Super positive. What a delight. I really, one of my favorite interviews, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
God, my pleasure. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your time and energy. You both are really awesome. So make sure
Thank you.
to DM me your information. I'll send you like an autograph picture.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you guys are ever in my neck of the woods, let me know. When I'm in your neck of the woods, I'll let you know, and maybe we can, do another interview to talk about some other things at a later time.
Let's definitely do it. And actually stick around for 2 minutes. We're gonna, after we do our break real quick, I got one funny story I gotta tell you.
And if you want me to really fast just say like a shout out for your show, like a plug, let me know.
You got definitely. We'll get you all the information. And again, any information you got for us, let us know. We'll share it.
No, what I'm saying is, like, on this, I don't know if you want me to go like, "Hi, I'm Alisa Reyes. You're watching the whatever." Like, I don't. Do you do stuff like that?
No, what we do, but this is we don't edit this, so you just did it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, we'll take it from here.
Mind. Hi. Okay, sounds good.
All right, so guys, we're gonna take a short commercial break. When we come back, me and Piano will wrap it up.
Okay.
Well, it's all that.
All right, friends. Well, this is the Diz Nerdy Network and all the amazing content creators that are going to be contributing. Rosie and Rob and Ali and Sammy and Tinker J and Vicky and Joe and Greg and Jeaner and Miriam. We're all going to be here making magic for you. So hit that subscribe button. Stick around with us. And Gene, you're going to throw a pen? Is that going to happen? You want to get us out of here?
Well, guys, let's kick it old school. Guys, have a great today, a better tomorrow, and we will see you next time.
9 p.m.
I'm a puppet, guys. Shout outs to Rosie Rosales for making us puppets. Also on the Disney Underground on Thursdays, new member to the Disney Underground. Yeah, Rosie.
In all seriousness, if
I'm
you're
a
not
mouse.
following
I'm a
Rosie
mouse.
too.
Oh yeah,
follow
please go
Rosie.
follow.
What he does
Follow
with
Rosie.
puppets, like I love puppets in general, and he just takes it to another level.
Yes, and what a good guy too. So guys, also in the mods, we'll drop in the links in the chat. So please go check out Alisa Reyes' website. Go check out the Proud Family, the revival, not the reboot, but the revival.
It's a revival.
Louder and Prouder. And go check out. She's got a lot going on. Go check out the website. You'll get all your updates there. And again, what a positive outlook. What a pleasure. What a pleasure.
I'm so glad we did that. These are so rewarding. We learn so much. We get to meet such cool people, and I know the feedback we get from the people that listen, that they're appreciating it. So thank you all for that. And hopefully we can do many more of these with just more wonderful people.
Yes, for sure. So guys, Piano Rob, give me a beat. Take us out. We want to thank Patty Puddles on the boards. We want to thank the chat for showing up. We want to thank our subscribers for taking this journey with us. The mods, thank you for making the chat fun, friendly, safe. We want to thank Alisa Reyes for coming on the show today. Fantastic. That's about it. Rob, thank you. Thank me. And for Piano Rob, I'm G FitzMagic. Guys, have a great today. A better tomorrow. We'll see you next time.
Late Night Magic.